Cara, since the last time we chat, we've got another little friend here.
Yeah, it's my food assistant.
And your first time back on the competition floor, how are you feeling?
I'm curious. Honestly, I just don't really know how to feel because I haven't done this before, so like anything, I'm just kind of going in for the first time, and yeah, I'm just gonna take it as it comes. And I guess there's like a little bit of like anticipation, nerves, not too bad, but just like, like you're doing something you just don't know, except that there's like expectation to know and be able to do something. So I'm in the middle.
Is that expectation you put on yourself, or do you think the community has some kind of expectation as well?
I think it's more like, not a bad expectation, but just more so like a known fact, like, oh, we've known Cara as doing this and being able to do that and this level or whatever, and then it's like myself and the community are all like getting to know a new person, like, oh, we knew this athlete and this person, and now she's this athlete and this person, and yeah, this weekend's just going to kind of show me where I'm at, what I can do, what I can't do, where I need to go, and it's just going to be a little different than, how I was.
Is this part of your preparation now for the games? Getting used to competing, and also getting used to competing with Scotty in tow?
Yeah, entirely. So originally, like I didn't expect to qualify through the Open, so I sort of had booked in this sanctioned event and then Rogue as well, and then I qualified through the Open, so that was awesome. But this one's obviously close to my hometown, and a couple of brands and companies that I support locally are here as a part of the event, so I kind of want to be there and support them as well, like AlphaFit being one of them, obviously. And so, yeah, it's just an opportunity for me to use it as more like practice now. So to actually be able to only drive an hour, it's like a little bit more relaxed, and just practice competing, which is so different to training. And then I'll have one more practice to go to the Rogue Invitational in May, and then it's all systems go.
What changes for you now, having Scotty? Does she come along for the ride to all these events, to training? What changes in your everyday life, I guess, as an athlete?
We are 100% like hands-on parents. So Scotty is, if I'm there, she's there. Like I registered today, she's here with me. And I wouldn't have that any other way. I'm sure that there are ways that I could potentially make it easier. But I just want to be, Maddie and I have both said, like, we want to be her greatest influence. We want her to look to us as the normal, like the normal kind of thing. And we love what we do. We love who we are. And we think that that's the best example for her. And we know that we will always set a really good example for her. So for that reason, we take her to training. She's not like, somewhere else. She's literally like under my feet. I stop workouts. We rotate, and then if I've got to do something long, I have to do it when she's asleep, or, Maddie's got her, and we're like just rotating back and forth. And, we've got a really good like co-parenting system. Like we're full 50-50. So I'm very grateful for that. But it's pretty much, if I'm there, Scotty and Maddie are there, like we come, 3 for 1.
Speaking of the new normal, I guess in your generation of CrossFit, a few pregnancies now with Annie. Have you spoken to her and given her any tips, I guess? I
have, yeah. Actually, obviously the initial congratulations, amazing. Like it just seems like our generation is just kind of getting to that stage and that age. And it's super exciting. I think it's really cool that we can all do it together because we're a little bit of a different breed too, like being an athlete, a female athlete at that age and doing pregnancy and then wanting to train, and we can all really understand each other. We've been in the same boat, and then now we're in a different boat, but the same one together again. I spoke to Annie a couple of weeks ago, and we've just kind of thrown some ideas back and forth. I know no woman likes to be sort of told how to do anything, but we've got a really good ability to communicate, and just kind of like she can ask me questions just because I've been one step ahead, the way that I did to people who were one step ahead of me. And I just kind of have told her a couple of things about how I did it, and just a little bit of reassurance too, to know that like certain things are actually okay, because that was so valuable to me from other women who had worked out and then became pregnant. And so I kind of just think of it as like a pay it forward. Yeah.
Speaking of being okay, you've posted up a couple of times, and we've even chatted about things in the journey being slower, some things being faster than you expected. Are you back to full strength Cara Saunders?
No. no, I don't know how long that's going to take, to be honest. And it's funny you say like full strength. Like strength is actually the hardest thing. Like the way that my hormones drive the system, still like feeding a baby, you know, it's just different. Like, and so yeah, that obviously is just going to take time, and I'm totally okay with that. It's just getting to understand it, to be honest. Just like knowing what I can and can't do is quite different. There are a lot of things that picked up really well. Skills with some really good consistent practice come back quite good. Like I'm happy with where my gymnastic skills are at. But yeah, just the ability to do a lot of work and that muscular endurance. Like it takes years to build that, and then I couldn't do it, you know, and then had a baby, and then you're in this healing mode, so it's quite a long time away from it, and you really have to rebuild that. So it takes a significant amount of time again. Like I'm good, don't get me wrong, like I'm really happy with where I'm at, but not quite where I was.
And you touched on it here this weekend, Rogue, and then the Games.
And then the Games, yeah. So I was going to originally do the one in China, in Pandaland, in December, and then things came up, family, stuff like that, and it just didn't work out. So this was the next one in line, and just kind of having an appropriate gap between them as well to actually recover, you know, because I'm expecting this is going to take me a little bit to recover from having not done it, not being conditioned to it, and then just taking some time. Like we've booked in to go away and see family next weekend, just to like fully deload, be away from the gym, be away from training, and then refresh, and then go again.
And is the goal to podium again, or do you have an expectation for yourself heading into the 2020 Games?
You know what, everything's a bonus. You know, I always say I'm competitive. Like I'm never gonna say, oh, I just like to go and be 20th. Like I don't want to go and be 20th. I'll be cool with it if that's how it lands. But I always shoot for the top, because I just don't see any point in ever shooting any lower, but it just doesn't mean that it's bad if you don't quite get there. And I think I've got a really good relationship with that kind of perspective. So shoot for the top, aim high, go as best I can, see where that falls. But obviously I didn't expect to even be where I am right now. So, you know, who knows, like I could do way better. And, you know, Maddie's got this idea that like, you know, mum mode, looking up at Scotty, I'll be so motivated, she's my number one, and I'll just be like,
mum mode?
No,
mum mode?
Mum mode. Like yeah.
Mum mode, like
yeah,
mum motivation or something.
That's hashtag mumbo. I'm going to copyright that. But yeah, that I'll just be like full steam ahead, you know, do it for my girl, but I don't know. I'm just going to like go hard, do what I do, you know. I'm hoping, honestly, that I just get out there and that like the patterning of what I've known just like flicks in and just goes, oh, there it is, that's what I do. That's, yeah. That's
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.